Becoming a developer and actually finding a job is really easy. You just need to take the right steps and know what to do. I know these things because I've been working in web development for over the past 7 years professionally. For the last 3 years, I've been doing web development in Finland, working for a mid-sized company. In this video, I'm going to show you the practical steps to first become a developer and then find a job in the tech industry. If you follow what I tell you, even if you know nothing, you could become a developer in 1 year. Before anything else, please make sure that you've subscribed to my channel so that you won't miss any of my upcoming videos. We have a lot of languages and frameworks, and most of the time when a beginner wants to start learning software development, they get confused by all these languages and tools. They keep bouncing from one language to another, and in the end, after a couple of years of wasting their time with different languages, they can't find the right job. So here's the first step. Learn HTML and CSS and start building simple websites using only these two. There are many free tutorials available for these two languages, so just start with these two languages, HTML and CSS. If you spend 4 hours every day, it shouldn't take longer than 2 months to learn the fundamentals and achieve a basic understanding. Once you're proficient with these two coding languages, it's time to start with an actual programming language. PHP, JavaScript, and Python are usually the first options. If you want to be a web developer, start with JavaScript. If you're interested in doing machine learning at some point as well as web development, start learning Python. If you want to find a job quickly, learn PHP, although it's not as popular these days. However, since around 70% of all websites are based on PHP, you won't be out of job anytime soon. Becoming a junior developer with any of these languages could take 3 or 4 months. Now it's time to choose a framework. There are different frameworks available for each of these programming languages. If you've chosen JavaScript as your language, start learning React.js for the frontend or Next.js for both the backend and frontend. If you've chosen Python, go ahead with Django to build web applications. For PHP, there are various frameworks available, and you can also learn CMS tools like WordPress or Drupal, which are really popular for small websites. Anyway, learning a framework to an intermediate level and completing 2 or 3 projects could take about 6 months. Now, after 1 year of practicing web development, it's time to apply for a job. Getting a job offer basically involves 2 main steps. First, getting an interview, obviously, and then passing the technical interviews. First, you need to try to get accepted for as many interviews as possible. This is where your CV comes into play. The most important and obvious thing about writing a CV that people often forget is that your CV should closely match the job description. When the employer looks at your skills, experiences, projects, and education, all should align with the keywords in the job description. Of course, it's not possible to match everything. For instance, if you have a degree in electrical engineering, but they prefer a developer with a bachelor's degree in computer science, there is nothing you can do about that. However, you can emphasize the courses and scientific projects that are more related to the job description. You can also adjust the skills section in your CV to prioritize the qualifications that are more important to the employer. This is called tailoring the CV. If you succeed in getting an interview, you are halfway to receiving a job offer. Now it's time to prepare for the interviews. For most tech companies, there are usually 2 important parts. First, they need to assess your coding skills. There are different ways they might do this, such as giving you an assignment, conducting a peer coding session, or administering an online coding test. To pass this stage of interviews, the key is having a good understanding of the core functionalities of a programming language. You need to know how to solve problems using data types, loops, and conditions. The other important part is technical interviews. Technical interviews usually focus on clean coding, software architecture, and design patterns. So you need to learn about theoretical software engineering if you don't have a degree in that field. Congratulations! After going through all these steps, you are now a developer working at a mid-level company. This was just a broad overview of how to become a developer from scratch and find a job. However, each part has its own complexities that require more information and explanation. I try to create additional videos explaining these extra concepts in more depth. So let me know if you're interested.